Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel where I help people with insomnia that are frustrated that nothing seems to be working to get the sleep that they need so that they can get their life and their energy back. And I don't know about you, but when I had insomnia, there was a lot of conflicting information out there about what you need to do to overcome insomnia. Was it you needed to do sleep hygiene, or was it CBTI? Was it take melatonin, do some supplements that claim to fix your sleep, or just take sleep medications until you start to sleep well again? Like, what is it? Why is there so much information out there that can conflict with each other? And yes, it may seem like maybe you should do the sleep hygiene and the CBTI. CBTI teaches sleep hygiene, and take these pills and then you should cure your insomnia, right? Well, I'm here to clear things up because all the different things out there that we can do to overcome insomnia, they're all going after the same thing. But the approach is different. And I'm here to clear up why the approach matters if you want to get more sleep. And I'm going to explain to you how each modality or way of overcoming insomnia or treating insomnia approaches it. Just keep watching because this video is really going to clear things up, and I wish I knew about this a lot sooner in my insomnia recovery journey. So let's get started. So first off, before we even go into it, and before I even teach you the best approach as opposed to the other approaches, I really want to make sure you understand why we have chronic insomnia in the first place. This is repetitive in a lot of my videos, but today I have a diagram to help you kind of visualize what is going on even better. I'm really happy that I put this together so that you can start to understand insomnia even more. So I'm looking over the diagram. I have my own copy here, but I'm going to put it on the screen as I talk about it. So as you see in this diagram, this is basically insomnia right there. And it all starts off with those fear-based thoughts. So before those fear-based thoughts happen, what happens when we have insomnia? The very beginning of it, something happens in our life, something stressful, medication side effects, health condition, hormone issues, anything that's causing disrupted sleep. Your sleep quality isn't as well and you're losing some sleep. Now, that isn't insomnia yet. That's just disrupted sleep. Now, for example, if it's something like something stressful or traumatic happened in your life that's causing disrupted sleep, if you just kind of shrug it off and realize, this happens, losing some sleep is normal after this, it will slowly correct itself. Now, if you have disrupted sleep, let's say something stressful or traumatic happened, you lose some sleep, and you're like, oh God, that can't happen again tonight. That's not okay. And then you lose sleep again the second night, and you're like, oh my gosh, like this isn't okay. I gotta try something to try to make myself sleep. This may happen after like second, third, or fourth night of disrupted sleep. And that stress of worrying about sleep, of course, is gonna make you lose more sleep. Even with something as simple as something stressful happening in your life, it can affect your sleep for a few days. But if we get to a point where like, oh my gosh, I have to fix it. I need to take these pills. I need to do something. I need to fix it. I need to make sleep happen. That is where the issues began. If you go to the bottom of that chart, I'm looking at the chart on my side over here, it starts off with those fear-based thoughts. You start to fear losing sleep. And what happens is it leads to a feeling of fear and trying to escape sleeplessness by, I gotta take a pill, I gotta take a supplement, I gotta take medication, I gotta do something, I'm gonna take melatonin tonight because it's not okay, it can't happen again. I can't lose sleep. So from there, when we're fearing it and we're trying to escape sleeplessness, your brain thinks there is danger. The combination of that fear and trying to escape something triggers your brain into thinking that there is danger. Your brain doesn't know there's not an actual threat, but it's the fear and the trying to escape something that is triggering your brain to think there is danger, which leads to your brain activating that fight or flight system. Your brain wants to keep you safe, and it knows you need to take action, fight, flee, freeze, whatever all the different options are, and that leads to a lot of hyperarousal. Hyperarousal is like a heightened state of alertness from things like stress, fear, worry, excitement, all sorts of things. So your hyperarousal is really high, and then you can't sleep. Your brain doesn't want you to sleep. It's doing exactly what it's supposed to do because it thinks there's danger out there. You're fearing something. It needs to keep you more alert in case you need to act, in case you need to fight, in case you need to flee. So now that you understand this whole process that leads us to be stuck in chronic insomnia, I can actually add in there, as you try to escape sleeplessness, it's going to fail because we can't control or make sleep happen. And that's kind of what we're going to learn about as we go through the different ways or different approaches of overcoming insomnia. So it fails, you take the supplement, it fails, it leads to more frustration, more worry, and more fear-based thoughts, which leads to more fear and trying to escape sleeplessness. And your brain thinks, she's still in danger. I need to amplify things. I'm going to increase that fight or flight system, which is going to raise your hyperarousal even more and keep you awake even more and sleep even less. That's why it can seem like you lose more and more sleep with time. So let's go through some different options, common options that we tend to turn to when we have trouble sleeping and we need to get more sleep. Let's start off with sleep hygiene. So as you can see on this chart, or whatever you want to call it, sleep hygiene is pointing at the hyperarousal level. That's because sleep hygiene is meant to try to help you relax more. Most of it. Having a relaxing bedtime routine, having a comfortable bedroom temperature, a nice environment, not doing anything stimulating before bed. Things like that are meant to try to relax you. And what it's trying to relax is that hyperarousal level. Your brain's still activating the fight or flight, but we're trying, with sleep hygiene, trying to force that hyperarousal down so that we can sleep, because when we have this really high activated fight or flight system and hyperarousal, we can't sleep. So it's trying to force it down. But really, your brain still thinks there's danger. Your brain still sees that fear and you trying to escape sleeplessness. So it doesn't really work when it comes to insomnia. Yes, I think sleep hygiene is important. You want to be comfortable in your bed, a comfortable temperature, things like that. I really think the comfort part is important. You don't want to go to bed and be sleeping in uncomfortable sheets, an uncomfortable pillow, a hot bedroom, things like that. Yes, but we're not trying to force the hyperarousal down when your brain still thinks there's danger. Okay, what about melatonin? That's a popular one out there. People love to take melatonin for insomnia, including myself. I used to take it thinking it would fix my sleep issues because you hear so many great things about it. But here's the thing. If you look at the chart, it's going after the very top level. Melatonin is helping to set your circadian rhythm. It's setting when you go to bed, when you wake up, because when the melatonin is secreted naturally in our brain, it's triggering our brain to start to prepare for sleep. So if we're not sleeping, what we end up using melatonin for is to try to tell the brain, no, we're supposed to be sleeping right now. We're not supposed to be sleeping later. Yes, we're getting to bed at like maybe 2, 3, 4 in the morning because of insomnia. And we're trying to tell the brain with the melatonin that, hey, we're supposed to be going to bed earlier. This is when sleep's going to happen. It's a sleep regulator, not a sleep initiator, if that makes sense. It's trying to set your circadian rhythm. And it's not that you have a circadian rhythm issue. And I know this is common. A lot of people believe this, including myself. Trust me, I've done it all. I've believed it all. I have been there. But I don't even know where I was going with this. We believe that we have a circadian rhythm issue, and that is not the issue. So if you're trying to tell your brain, like, no, you're supposed to be asleep at this time, but your brain still thinks there's danger, and it's activating the fight or flight system, you're still going to have trouble sleeping. It's not going to change that. You have to get your brain to stop activating the fight or flight system if you want to sleep sooner. It's not a melatonin issue. And of course, I can't do this video without talking about CBTI because it is the gold standard of insomnia treatment, right? It is considered the gold standard still, but we have learned a lot since then. So CBTI, if you look at the chart, it's going after the very top part, can't sleep, the sleep anxiety. It's going after all that with the stimulus control and the sleep restriction. So stimulus control is basically when they tell you if you haven't fallen asleep within 20 minutes to get out of bed, so you don't associate the bed with sleeplessness, with being awake. And then once you feel sleepy again, then you're supposed to come back to bed. And then if you haven't fallen asleep within 20 minutes, you're supposed to get back out. I remember getting up and down, up and down, up and down. And really, it's not the association of the bed with wakefulness. It's that fear of sleeplessness. You're crawling into bed. You're scared you're not going to be able to fall asleep. And it's activating the fight or flight system. This is something we can talk about later, but we need to teach your brain that you are safe when you are in your bed instead of keep avoiding the bed. Plus, think about the pressure and the stress you feel when you go to bed. You're like, okay, I have 20 minutes. I have 20 minutes to fall asleep before I have to get up. I hope I fall asleep. Please fall asleep. You have this pressure. I need to fall asleep within 20 minutes. And in your head, you're thinking, how long has it been? Has it been 10 minutes? Has it already been 20? I don't know what time it is. I'm not supposed to watch the clock, but I'm supposed to get up within around 20 minutes. I don't know how long it's been. It's just this whole thing going on with the stress and the pressure. And then you end up not sleeping within the 20 minutes. And then you get up again. And then you go back to bed. And then same thing over and over and over and over. It's exhausting. I used to joke around that I would get more steps in the middle of the night than I did during the day, just from getting up and down, up and down. I should have worn a step tracker back then when I was sleeping, instead of when I was awake. Now, another part of CBTI that I really do like is their cognitive portion of it. If you look at the bottom of the chart, it's pointing at the bottom, the fear-based thoughts. It does a lot of work on, yes, it does sleep hygiene. I guess I could have put an arrow pointed at the hyperarousal because it teaches sleep hygiene. So it's trying to lower the hyperarousal, even though your brain still thinks there's danger. But it also helps to change your mindset around sleep and insomnia, which helps lower some of those fear and worry-based thoughts and some of the pressure. So I really do like that part of CBTI. So yes, you're trying to lower the fear-based thoughts, but you're still using things like stimulus control and sleep restriction. If you don't know what sleep restriction is, you're basically cutting your sleep really short. Like, I remember at one point I was at 3 hours. I'm supposed to go to bed before I wake up until I'm getting solid sleep, and then you're supposed to get more and more and more. So you're increasing that sleepiness, the sleep drive, so that you can fall asleep during that time and then increase it from there. But all of these, the stimulus control and the sleep restriction, is a way of trying to force sleep happen. That very top part of can't sleep, to try to make you sleep. And it's an attempt to try to escape sleeplessness, which still tells your brain that there's danger out there that you're trying to escape. So there's a lot I do like about CBTI, but not all of it. So what about CBD, sleep supplements, magnesium, sleep medication, any of the pills and supplements that you take to try to make yourself sleep happen. Make sleep happen. I had a few emergency calls in the middle of the night, so I had very disrupted sleep last night. Trying to make sleep happen. They're going after that hyperarousal again. They're trying to lower that hyperarousal when your brain still thinks there's danger. So yes, they may help you relax a little bit and you feel like maybe they're helping, but your brain still thinks there's danger. It's still trying to raise the hyperarousal levels. You're probably getting a really good understanding now about what the best approach is to overcoming insomnia and why the approach matters. All the different options are great. They're trying to help you along this process. But really, to be the most effective, you have to start from the root cause, not the disrupted sleep, because we all get disrupted sleep here and there. Like last night with my emergency calls. I had 2 emergency calls in the middle of the night that woke me up, kind of startled me, so it took a little while to fall back asleep. That happens from time to time. We get sleep disruption. Even the best sleepers out there have the occasional sleep disruption from something in their life. We can't escape that. But what we can do is focus on the fear-based thoughts, is going after the root cause, because that fear and worry of just trying to escape sleeplessness is causing us to, or causing the brain to think that there is danger, and it's activating the fight or flight system. So let's look at the best way to do this, which is to go after the fear-based thoughts, but I created this little chart. So we start off with the fear-based thoughts, right? So instead, we go to not being scared of being awake at night, and the sleep will correct itself with time. Now, yes, you already stuck in the chronic insomnia cycle, but it will correct itself with time. It's going to take a little longer because, you have insomnia and it's been going on for a while. Your brain is seeing every night there's danger, there's danger, it's danger. It's going to take a while to convince your brain that you are safe. But in the future, when you have some kind of sleep disruption, and maybe it lasts a week, maybe there's a lot of stress and trauma, something happens, the more you can kind of shrug it off, this is okay. It happens to everyone in these type of situations. It will correct itself. Practice self-care, and it will get better. So back to the chart. We're going from not being scared and sleep will correct itself to allowing and accepting that you're having disrupted sleep, that you're having trouble sleeping, and you can't make it happen. You can't make yourself sleep. You can't control it. So if we go to a place of acceptance and allowance, then your brain thinks you're safe. You're not trying to escape it. You're not fearing anything. There's no sign of danger. So your brain thinks you're safe. Your fight or flight system is not being activated, or in your case, it'll be going down more and more and more as your brain starts to really believe you that you are safe. You'll be at peace, and then you'll be sleeping more. That is how you overcome insomnia, going through this process right there. Now, if you want to learn how to go after the root cause and have a step-by-step approach so that you can start overcoming insomnia, click the link in my description box for my free Insomnia Crash Course, where you're going to learn that. You're going to have the first steps to take to start overcoming your insomnia. Click the link in the description box. That's it for today's video. I really hope this was a clear explanation and you really understand insomnia so much more than the majority of people out there with insomnia. So I'm really excited for you to understand this and to understand how you need to overcome insomnia. Again, like I just mentioned, go check out my free Insomnia Crash Course. It's absolutely free, and you're going to have a step-by-step personalized approach to what you need to do to overcome insomnia. So I will see you in the next